Hello everybody, I'm Wroughtstream and I'm here with some more Lo-Fi, and I think we're going to be taking on some more reviewer suggestions and one constellation level at the end, which I know it's been kind of a while since we've done a constellation level, but April Constellations is about to come out soon. And yeah, I mean, while we're waiting for that, might as well do one in between. But I will say that the constellations that I haven't done yet are a little bit tough, so that's kind of why I'm spacing them out a little bit like this, just so, you know, I'm not playing like a bunch of tough levels in one episode. But, you know, let's just get started. Alright, let's see what we got for the spinner this time around. $92. Great Fairy of Heaven. I have actually no checkpoint in this a while ago, which kind of suffices for the spinner speed trial, since like generally these harder levels I typically don't no checkpoint them. So I feel like me kind of doing this a while ago kind of counts. So I'm just gonna spin it again. $26. Now that is probably a level that I probably... Yeah, there you go. Oh boy. Ooh. I think this is a level that I think this is a level that I've not even no checkpoint in the first place. Although this is a classic level. This level was so long ago. But yeah, we're about to play it now. So let's get started. Now this is a classic. And it's also featured too, so you know that makes sense. But this is a level from so long ago. Like this was like one of the first constellated levels, and it still holds up pretty well considering today's standards, I guess. Although I guess maybe the reliability is a little bit weird. It's not an easy level too. It's a little tricky with its swing patterns.
Listen to is like nothing you've ever heard before. They call it jazz ending.
Yeah. Soul's really long too. Alright, here we go. There you go. Nice. Yeah, I was like, this was like probably one of the first levels that I played that was like a decent chunk of time. Like it's a decently long level, especially considering it has 1,000 tiles. It's kind of a bit of a stamina burn, I guess you could say, but also because it's naturally fast enough to have this option at the bottom right where it asks, I think it only goes up to normal though. There's no strict, because obviously if there was strict there'd be some double BPM shenanigans, but that doesn't really happen in this chart. But it is just a really long chart, and it can be a little tricky with the swing patterns, but still really solid to this day, I'd say. Alright, so we got Evan Sent, composed by Leaf and charted by Yule. No reason behind the suggestion, so let's just get started. Boom. I feel like I've recognized this composer name, but I don't know why I do. Let's find out. Ooh. Rectangle, my beloved. That was a nice rectangle. You usually get like the ones where like, it's not this wide, it's usually like a, normal rectangle. So that's like a little bit, one that's like a little bit wider. It's a little nice to see, Is this like a Christmas song? Like, I keep on hearing like those like Christmassy sounds, if that makes sense. That was a weird rhythm. Alright. Oh boy. It's like, I had like a white planet with like a black background. That's not the best. Oh, I probably should have predicted that was not a inside square. But I just forgot how to say. Because, I'm so used to like squares being like inside all the time that like that muscle memory kind of escaped in. But hey, I mean, it's better than if I was an inside square, I mean it's better than getting up death for being really late. I do appreciate the indicated pause tiles in that chart, though. It's something that you always appreciate whenever you see it, since sometimes charters don't really like show it off, and you kind of have to sometimes guess when you see like a gem tile or there's like a gap between tiles, But if the charters have like a significantly long pause tile, right, and you don't really indicate it, but they have like a countdown timer, I can also respect that too, because at least at that point, I don't think if you tap extra, you actually get any too earlys for that, so that's nice to see. But anyway, that was a cool chart. Got pretty rhythmically wacky in like the midsection, but then everything else was kind of standard, so. Alright, so we got some, this is like a nice little relaxing level. So let's just get started. RWS-1, tab tiles, and half octagons. Starting on the offbeat, which is a little weird, but. It was a little weird when you start on the offbeat, but I'm assuming this is just for tutorial purposes. I don't think like the song does start on offbeat. Otherwise, that would be kind of weird. RWS-2, that patterns. Oh wait, isn't this just? This is literally just 9x, but easier because I think it's slower. I guess they did add a Tricilo at the end, and 9x didn't have that, so I guess that was a worthy tutorial, I guess. RWH-3, vertical 7-hit combo. Ooh, so it's like a... Yeah, this is kind of like reminding me of Relics. It's like maybe a slightly harder pattern, although it would be harder if the pattern was faster, because Relics did have those offbeat 3-point turns, while this has the offbeat 7 hits, but... I don't think it's going to be like 200 BPM, so it's not going to be that hard. RWH-4, Square Stairs. This is kind of like credits, but you're just constantly going on a bend, which, you know, it's not like drop-in loops were ever that difficult, so nice to see. I mean, although you have to consider, because maybe these custom levels were made before credits, because credits wasn't always in the game, actually. In fact, I think there was not a lot of stuff in this game before, like when it first released. I think there was only like 6 worlds in the bonus world. So who knows? It might have been created before those times, you know. Anyway, let's get started on our next level. RWH-5 vertical tab tiles. Let's get started. Man, this level just makes references to like all these other like official worlds. Like we got ML-X. Ones where you're going on that beanstalk. Oh wow, you do actually start an offbeat here. Okay. Anyway, so you have Rain with Snow, composed by Castlewater and charted by Strode. Anyway, let's get started. Like, yeah, if you look at this bass BPM, it's not that fast. This is. Yeah, I guess we are just starting an offbeat. That's weird. Okay. He's like, camera, please move forward. Okay, it might be a little bit of a camera rotation going on here, which is, you know, might be a little tricky, but I don't know. The song seems slow enough that I can probably just react to most stuff anyway. You know, kind of keep the patterns consistent in my head, I guess. Yeah, but that pattern's a little weird though, since it does have that little outside 3-point turn on off beat, so it's a little weird to count out in the head. Why does this remind me of like a Toto song, honestly? I don't know why. Gotta watch out for that neon black square. Although I think it's just the same rhythm constantly. I don't think it ever changes, so I guess it's not gonna be that scary. Heck, even the red twirl, like, oh. Yeah, even the red twirl, like, kind of tells you where the square is gonna be. Like, there's actually kind of like a visual cue for that, even though you kind of have to be a little, like, smart with it. You know, also I do appreciate this level also has checkpoints too, so you know, that's nice. Okay. This feels weird, like whenever this happens. Okay, that was a weird section, what the heck? Hold up. Is that okay? I guess the song did kind of get weird. Anyway, that's a nice pure perfect right there. That was a really chill level actually, but man, was that that was a weird ending section. I guess there was like maybe a bit of a de-acceleration with the BPM, which is what caused like that weird little speed change at the end there. I mean, luckily it was like outside turns and it wasn't really that tough to deal with, but it was a little weird. I think there was like a checkpoint like right before it though, so I mean, I guess it wasn't that tough to deal with if you died there in the first place. But anyway, that was a nice chill level. Alright, so our next custom level is Wildflower Nerfed, composed by Kara, and Kenny Yoon, and charted by Fluffy Yoshi. So I guess we'll get started. This was I guess listed as a challenging level, so I figured why not put it here. You know, I gotta make sure to read red twirls, you know? Alright, it's fine though. We got this. We just had to get a little bit of a wake up call. Now we're good. Now we're good. Yeah, that was a... I guess the same thing is gonna happen now. Okay. Well, let's get started. That's a little unfortunate. I don't think there's any checkpoints in this level too, right? Well, that's unfortunate. I think I was pretty close to the end though. I can do this chart, definitely. Nice. There you go. That level took a little while. Now, that level is... I guess like that. Nah, I'll say it. I guess it is tough. Like obviously not as tough as like some of the other levels that I've played, but it definitely took quite a little bit of try since it is a little bit of a like a stamina map, if that makes sense. It's not like a very rhythmically complex level. It is just 3-point turns, squares, those like red twirl climbs where you just tap a bunch for those and you just kind of keep on going until it ends. Doesn't really have like a set, because they all, there's like a, there's a bunch of them and they kind of all end at different intervals. But I will say that that level was fair though. I will say like all my deaths in that level, they were all like my fault. Like I didn't there wasn't like something unfair about it. I just like simply just lost. It was simply a skill issue for me. Alright, so we have a chart on our hands, but we gotta get through the tutorials. This is a custom level from a China competition for Adofi. I don't really know too much about this event, but since it's a level submitted in that category, and I imagine that this must have gotten some recognition within that World Cup, I guess. I think this is probably going to be a pretty good level since it's probably been received well by that community. So yeah, let's just get started. CD-1, Gone with the Waves. Okay. Nothing new here. It's also a nice little break since that other level did take quite a bit of tapping from me, but yeah. Okay, nothing really new there, just rectangles and triangles. Nothing too bad. CD-2, Onshore Breeze. Look at these tiles, what the hell? 1, 2. Okay, I guess these are like... Okay, wait. Ooh, okay. Are those... I guess those are, like, essentially U-turn tiles, maybe? I don't know. It's a little weird. I can react to them, so I guess there's that, but it's a little weird to look at. CD-3, Spectacular Fireworks Show. Oh, okay. Well, again, a little fast. Alright, that's fine, that's fine. I am going so fast because of the other level that I just played. Okay, that's fine though. At least we're getting used to the speed here, so that's fine. It's a little like, oh man, it's so like slow for me, I guess. Okay, that definitely picked up the pace quite a bit, I will say. Hopefully there's checkpoints right before that section, otherwise this might be a little bit of a long grind for not exactly the right reason. This has a strict option, so that's a little scary, but okay. Anyway, so we have Cordelia, composed by Cliff Rentz and charted by Alex1044. Let's get started. Okay. Anyway, as I'm saying, right, I hope there's checkpoints for this. Although the fact that there's a strict option does not really inspire me with much confidence. Because that either means there's a quadruple BPM lane or some like weird magic ship shenanigans happen. So I don't know. Oh, it does have checkpoints. That's good to see. Oh, I also do appreciate that it did that like next thing. I mean, I got in early, but that was kind of my fault anyway, so I guess that doesn't really matter that much. You know, honestly, these kind of reminded me of like the freeze tile from Frozen Time. Like if you remember that one Neocosmos level from Damning. And honestly, I kind of wish freeze tiles would make a return, since like the hit sounds of the freeze tiles are so satisfying. I mean, I think they're taken straight from Rhythm Doctor, but I mean, like, who cares? That okay? That's where the double BPM is at. Okay, I couldn't see. Was that just like outside hexagon? I guess it was. Yeah, it is. Okay. Man, this is a. You gotta be. Was that Oh my god! You gotta be kidding with me. Was there an indication for that? Now I gotta go through this fucking. God damn it! Oh my god! What happened to the sight readability of this, man? It just like went away in like an instant, bro. There you go. Oh, so many fails just because of that just that one difficulty spike and like a couple of like weird sections where the readability was kind of off. God damn. Alright, so we got Intro, composed by Air Forced, and Charted by Team Vega. And this is, maybe, I think, an earlier level from Team Vega? It's supposed to be a bit easy, so there's that, but it's kind of like the humble beginnings of Team Vega, which I think, like, Team Vega, I think they used to only have, like, 2 people working on Chart, but now it's like... Oh, God, okay, wait, hold up. I probably should have paid attention to speed animation, but that's fine. But anyway, yeah, like, how was I saying, like, Team Vega had humble beginnings, alright? They didn't start off with, 20 people collaborating on the charts. I think it was, like, only, like, 2 people. And I think this one only has, like, 3 people. But hey, it's a cool looking chart, though, we'll say. Like, Team Vega are always good with their visual effects, although the gameplay can be sometimes a little, like, at times, but, And I think in their older levels, they also don't put any checkpoints, so, yeah. And the newer levels, they do put in checkpoints, so that's good for them. I like that they do that now. Appealing a little bit more to the casual player, if that makes sense. Oh, wow, that was the whole song? That was really short. What? Oh, yeah, so yeah, as you can see, this was Team Vega. They only had like 3 people here. Hot Duck, I recognize. 2C Hyun, maybe I recognize this name. And I mean, do you really expect me to recognize a name I cannot pronounce? I'm sorry. Name I cannot pronounce. Don't know who you are, but I'm sure you're probably a cool charter doing cool things these days, but I just haven't seen more of your charts. Or maybe I have seen more of your charts. There's a lot of names that I cannot pronounce out there, so that might be the case. Credits. Composed by Froms and charted by Junkie Harpin. All levels created by this creator have fun track composition and simple and amazing effects. It's fun and cool, but the difficulty level is a little difficult. Alright, here we go. So, one constellation level. And the reason why I've been like kind of saving this one seems like I might have like played this like a while ago, right? Like it doesn't seem that bad, and I mean it's like one of the songs from the official game, right? So it's like why not? It's because my friend told me that there's a bit of a difficulty spike in this song, and like it could be a little bit tricky to sight read, and also because it's also fast too, so that's why it's a little bit more harder than the usual constellation level. Although I think I'm now ready to play it, so let's get started. Yeah, there's a lot of speed changes here though. Holy crap. Hopefully it doesn't go too poorly. Alright. Okay. Seems pretty fun so far, but my opinion might change real soon. Whoa, okay. This looks funky. Oh, okay. Wow, that is amazing. Oh yeah, so truthfully, I kinda assumed on the notes there, because I do vividly remember how the song goes, and I realized that it's focusing on those like voice bits, so I'm like, I know how those voice bits go. What if I just copy that? And that is how I managed to clear that in one go, actually. That is surprising. Alright, I'm gonna say that right now. That I probably should have died there a couple of times. But because I remembered how the song goes, and I knew what the charter was focusing on when they go like on it, like they focus on like those like voice samples, if you want. I don't know what you want to call that. But I knew that once I knew those and I connect those together, I'm like, oh wait, it's just gonna follow that the entire time. And because I memorized how the song goes in that one section, it's a funky rhythm if you actually listen to it. But it is really tricky. But hey, I managed to actually get it, which is really, really, really surprising. But certainly, if you've never heard this song before, or you haven't heard it as much as I have, you're definitely gonna struggle on that one difficulty. Alright, let's get started on the ranking. Event Sent, composed by Leaf, is a advanced, I think a pretty ordinary level, all things considered, besides just the wacky rhythms that are in the middle. But overall, it's a pretty normal level. I mean, it does have a lot of patterns in its way, but, it kind of just fits snugly with all these other advanced levels where, it has a couple of patterns at a moderate speed, but it's not really that tough. So, yeah, I think it fits here pretty well. Rain with Snow, composed by Castlewater, is a normal. It is pretty slow. Not really much happens. I mean, there is a couple of mid-spins and some funky BPM shenanigans that happen near the end, but it is quite slow. There are some checkpoints like right before some of those tricky sections, and yeah, it's just a nice chill level. I mean, I think the reason why I put it in normal though instead of like easy is just because because of the ending section, and also some of the patterns can maybe be a little tough to read. Maybe you do have to have a little bit of a reaction, but there's still checkpoints, and I think might be on the bit more the easier side of normal levels. So Wildflower Nerf, composed by Kara and Kenny Young. I think this is a insane level. You have to think about it. It's just a very ordinary level. No tricks, no wacky rhythms or anything like that. It's just a normal level. You just gotta go through it. So, there's no tricky visual effects. It's just a fast level with a lot of tapping, but no checkpoint. And because of that, I can really respect the level just for its simplicity in that regard, but its difficulty in the other regards of ways, because, sometimes charts could be more difficult because of its wacky rhythms or maybe some crazy visual effects or a gimmick. But this is just like really standard. Like this is probably like the quintessential level of insane if I think of like an insane category for ranking levels. Delia, composed by Cliff Rance. I think that this is just the They're insane, but for kind of different reasons. Now, the beginning section is pretty simple. It's pretty normal. And then it goes up to double BPM. The section isn't really that hard. I feel like if it was just double BPM and it was just like that, I might have put it in hard, but maybe it would be on like more the harder side of the hard tier. But because it has that quadruple BPM lane, some funky stuff going on there, I think this just qualifies for insane. I think just because of the quadruple BPM lane, since that is quite tricky, and especially because that's an outside like hexagon in quadruple BPM, and it's a little hard to like visualize that in a way to see what the rhythm is, just because it's a bit more stricter, and you rarely deal with quadruple BPM rhythms that much, but that's just something for me to keep in mind. But yeah, it is a difficulty spike, and I guess that's probably why the level has a strict in the first place. But besides that, everything else is kind of like hard or maybe just on normal. But because of the kind of difficulty disparity, I feel like maybe it'd probably just fit in insane just because of that one difficulty spike, so that's what I'm going with. Intro, composed by Air Forest. Really, really short level. That's pretty slow. And like nothing really happens that much except for a little bit of you gotta pay attention to speed changes, and I guess you have maybe a little less time than normal to really react to stuff. But if those two things weren't really there, I'd probably put this in easy. But because of those two other factors, I think this just fits in normal. So yeah. Credits, composed by Frums and charted by Junkie Harpin. Now this I'm going to put in expert, and the reason why, even though I did not die on this one time, I think I can see a lot of people also dying on this. And here's the reason why. The gimmick. The gimmick is very hard to read if you don't know a lot about the song, which some people might really know the song, and if you do really know the song, then you'll probably be able to pass through it as easily as I can, maybe with a couple of hiccups here and there. Also, the chart is just fast. Like, you have to do a lot of tapping there, and it's really funky rhythms. It's not just like simple like 3-point turns or just bends and stuff like that. No, these are like some weird rhythms. I don't know how to exactly describe them, since I can't really visualize it that well in my head due to the way the rhythms are presented during that one gimmick portion. Credits itself is already pretty fast, so once I think it's at like a double BPM, like when you get to that portion, which means that those hits are more stricter than normal. So that's why I think I'm gonna put this in expert, because of that huge difficulty spike. Otherwise, if it didn't have the huge spike and it was kind of similar to the like original chart, it might have honestly been put in advanced or even normal if that section was even easier than the original. But because of that really big difficulty spike, I think it fits in expert pretty well. And that is it for all the custom levels that I played today. Hopefully you've enjoyed them as much as I have. I've cleared another level from constellations, and we've gotten one level more closer to completing them all. But we are still far from that achievement. But anyway, hopefully you've still been enjoying as always, and hopefully I'll see you another day.